All right. Another kind of quadrilateral that should look semi-familiar are trapezoids. Okay. Parallelograms had two pairs of parallel sides. Trapezoids, they have exactly one pair, maybe, or only one pair. Okay. The parallel sides are called the bases. So here in this picture, since AB is parallel to CD, those are our bases. Okay, the non-parallel sides here, AD and BC, those are called the legs. Okay, and for a general trapezoid, there's no special relationship between the legs. Okay, if a trapezoid is a quadrilateral, though, it's it's consecutive base angles. Okay, so angle A here and angle D. And then angle B and angle C. They are supplementary. Okay, and if you think about it, we've got parallel lines and a transversal. Those are consecutive interior angles, which are still supplementary. Okay. But we're going to talk about the mid-segment of a trapezoid here real quick before we get to talking about more properties. Okay. All right, the mid-segment of a trapezoid, much like the mid-segment of a triangle, the endpoints are the midpoints of the legs. Okay, so remember the legs are the two sides that are not parallel. B here is a midpoint, F here is a midpoint. So the line segment BF is the mid segment of a trapezoid. Okay. Now the mid segment is parallel to the bases still. Okay, so we've got base AE parallel to base DG, and both of those are parallel to mid-segment BF. All right, and the length of the mid-segment is half the sum of the lengths of the bases. All right, so we're going to take the length of one base, the length of the second base, so the two parallel sides of the trapezoid, cut it in half, and that's how long the mid-segment is. Okay. Now we do have a special kind of trapezoid, an isosceles trapezoid. All right, much like an isosceles triangle has two congruent sides, the legs. An isosceles trapezoid is a trapezoid whose legs are congruent. Okay, so those consecutive base angles are still congruent themselves, but each pair of base angles for isosceles trapezoids are congruent. So the angles that are on the same base, so here angle A and angle B, that's a pair of base angles, they're congruent. And then angle C and angle D here are also congruent. Okay. And last but not least, for these trapezoids, its diagonals are congruent as well.